Hello everybody, we're getting ready to do lesson 6.2 of pre-algebra math, part 1 of a PowerPoint video. You want part 2 and maybe even, I think there's part 3 here, email me there. And today's lesson, writing and solving proportions. Here's our standard here. We have a 34-point skills sheet here, and we have only 2 points here. Note taking, but notes are always really important. Students, rather teachers today, here's our bell work. Solve the inequality here. You solve this here, complex inequality, and you would get this probably in a part 2 and a part 3 of a previous lesson if you're not familiar with this. And then which of the following ratios is greater than 5 to 12 down here? Which is one of these would be a greater ratio than 5 to 12? And give your students 5 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Here's our solution here. We're going to multiply through, get rid of this fraction here. So we have 5 times this, and then 5 times this over here. This becomes y plus 70 is less than or equal to 13. And then we need to isolate our y, so we subtract 70. And we have y is less than or equal to negative 57. And then a ratio greater than 5 to 12, this is 5 to 12, is 0.416. So which one's greater? 4 to 8 would be. By turning that into a fraction, we figure out that's 0.5. The rest of these, this is like 0.3, this is 0.4. This one is like almost 0.3, so 4 to 8 would be 0.5. That would be greater than 0.41. Okay, into our lesson today, elephants. Each day, this is your notebook, students, page 1. This is your 2 points here of note taking. Eat 5 pounds of food for every 100 pounds of its body weight. How much does the 9,300 pounds eat per day? And then proportions. Proportion is the equation that states two ratios that are equivalent. Numbers 2 over 3 equals 8 over 12. Yes, it does. So algebra A over B equals C over D, and then your restrictions here for your. So equivalent ratios, if one of the numbers in a proportion is unknown, you can solve the proportion to find the unknown number. One way to solve a proportion is to use mental math to find the equivalent ratio. So equivalent ratios, solve the proportion here. 5 over 6 equals x over 18. What do we do to solve for our x? Compare denominators. So we have an 18 and a 6. So to find x, we multiply through by 3. And then that will give us something that is over 18. And then 5 times 3, so x would equal 15 in this case here. So 5 over 6 would equal 15 over 18. I got to practice here. Use equivalent ratios to solve this proportion here. Students, this is yours here. Pay attention so you can do your independent practice. So 12 times 4. So our difference here is 4 here. 12 times 4 equals 48. So we have to multiply this by 4, numerator and denominator. So 6 times 4 is 24, so x would equal 24. So 24 over 48 would be the same thing as 6 over 12. Students. And then into our next example here, solve the proportion x over 12 equals 2 over 8. Check your answer. How would we solve that? So we're just going to multiply through by 12. This is another way of solving it. These will cancel, will they not? So x would equal 24 over 8. So this would cancel, the x over 1. 12 times 2 would be 24 over 8. Then this would simplify further into 3, and then we could check 3 over 12. Does that equal 2 over 8? And it does when you simplify. They're equal to each other. Now into our guided practice. X over 9, 42 over 54, students, that's yours. So how will we solve it? Multiply by a 9. The multiplicative inverse of x over 9 here would be 9. Multiply both sides by that. We get x equals this number. And then that simplifies into 7. So that'd be a way to solve a proportion using a multiplicative inverse method there. And that is part 1 of lesson 6.2. Part 2 and part 3 are available at this email. as well as all your other material, course materials. Thank you.